So a question I get quite often is it cheaper to rent or buy? That's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of variables that come into play with that, a lot of personal choices. So today what I want to do with this quick video is just go over some of the big variables and some of the pros of both buying and renting. So one of your big variables is going to be location. Where are you looking to buy? What market are you looking to buy in? It's probably going to be cheaper to buy, say, here in the 901 in the Memphis market than it is to, say, in the San Francisco market, where the median house costs 7 figures now, I think. So location, 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 that's a big one. Another big variable is personal finance. Do you have a good credit score? Can you get a good mortgage and an interest rate? And do you have money set aside or set back for, say, down payment or concessions or closing costs or something like that? So personal finance is a big variable that comes into play as well. And some of the pros for renting versus buying, there's a lot of them, but we'll go over the big ones. Pros for renting would be flexibility and then, say, career uncertainty. You might be getting promoted here in the next year, and if you do, you're going to be off to Indianapolis or DC or wherever. That transition will be a lot easier if you're not having to worry about selling a house where you're coming from. And then another big one is maintenance. I don't have to fix anything. If something breaks, I just call up the landlord and say, hey, hot water heater broke, and he comes and fixes it. On the flip side of that, a lot of pros for buying is you're building equity. You're making an investment into a big purchase that is eventually going to be yours. So you're building up your equity in your portfolio and your retirement plan. You're not paying your landlord's mortgage. You're paying yours. So that's a good one. Tax deductions is another huge one. Depending on the tax bracket you're in, sometimes you can get as much money out to take care of maintenance on the house for the year. Or get that money back through tax deduction. So that's a huge one. And then another big one is creative control and maintenance, choices. You don't have to ask permission to do anything. If you want to let your daughter paint her room hot pink, well, then she can paint it hot pink if you want to let her do that. It's your choice. So there's a lot of variables, a lot of personal choices that come into that rent versus buy question. And Realtor.com has a great rent versus buy calculator. I refer people to. And also sometimes it's good just to sit down, pull out a piece of paper, put rent on one side, buy on the other, and go from there. Pros and cons for both, and make that choice. So obviously, if you ever had any questions, feel free to call me, text me, email me, and I'll help you out the best that I can. And I want to thank everybody for watching today, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.